guys, so today's video is a super exciting one. Today I'm going to be doing a first impressions get ready with me, and I'm also going to be including a second look, so I'm not going to spend too long on filming, probably like 20 minutes each, of the brand new Nomad Verona palette. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the whole name, but can we take a moment for how gorgeous this freaking packaging is? Can we just take this in? It has like a like normal female statue, and then the left side is like the death side with like a skull, and it's a male statue, and then there's a lion on this side, and then there's a Cupid on this side. So this palette is supposed to represent the love and death story in the Shakespeare play Romeo and Juliet, which is the most famous play pretty much in the entire world. If you don't know what Romeo and Juliet is, I highly suggest you Google it, but I don't really know anybody that doesn't know that play. So when I first saw that this was revealed, like the packaging, I was already kind of sold on it. At first, when they were first teasing the colors, I wasn't really sure if I was going to get it. And I was like, no, I'm not going to get it. Like I told my group chat, my 3 ladies from YouTube, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get it. And then I saw the packaging and the color story revealed. And truly, this is one of the only releases that I got based solely on the packaging. I mean, the color story is stunning. It really is a beautiful color story, and honestly, like, I think it's gorgeous, but the packaging of this is what really got me. I think they totally outdid themselves with this one. It's just so, whoever is their graphic designer for their packaging is literally amazing. And then on the back has all of the shades, and there are 2 like dueling color stories in here. We have the pink side, which is the love side, and then the death side. So let's jump into this palette, and it says Verona, Italy, destination Juliet's balcony, coordinates love and death. That is just so cool to me. And then when you open it up, the inner packaging is even cooler. Like, I mean, the outer packaging is gorgeous, but look at this inner packaging. It's like reflective, and it has like the opening doors to show like dueling sides. Let me just take the tissue paper out so I can actually show you guys properly. I like keeping the tissue paper because it kind of helps it like not get as dirty. So this is what it looks like on the inside. So this is the love side. So you open the door like this. I was trying to open them both individually, and then you open, oh my God. The struggle is real. And then you open this side, and here is the death side. Isn't this freaking stunning? Oh my God, so pretty. So I'm going to close this side for now because I'm going to be conscious. Does this fold back? Oh, it does. Oh, I like that. Okay. That's pretty cool. I didn't know this folded all the way back. That's actually really nice. So I am going to be concentrating on the death side today because I'm wearing like this purpley pinkish kind of jacket because I'm meeting one of my friends for happy hour. So I really wanted to play with the purples today. So I'm mostly going to be using these shades and then probably deepen up with the black. I'm pointing at the blue for some reason. I was thinking about using the like lighter pink on this side, but I really just want to do an all purple look because I actually haven't done a purple look in a hot minute, like at least a month. But I'm not sure if I want to start with the pink first. You know what? No, we're going to start with the purple side because I'm going to do a pink look tomorrow anyway. I want to concentrate on this side today. So first shade we're going to dip into is the shade Dagger, which is that light purple shade, and then I'm going to go into this shade and then this shade. I'm not going to lift up the palette every time. I'm just going to tell you the name of them. So we're going to dip into Dagger first, and I'm going to use one of my ColourPop limoncello brushes. I use this like every day. So I've heard like conflicting things about the formula in this palette. I've heard that the mattes are easy blendable mattes that Nomad is known for, because their mattes honestly are very easy to work with. I find that with this shade though, you kind of have to build it up a little bit, which is not a problem for me. I kind of like sometimes to build up a matte rather than it being like instantly pigmented, because sometimes it can be too pigmented. There is a bit of kick up from this, but honestly nothing too crazy. And so far this color is blending out beautifully. It's a really pretty like purpley lavender shade, and I really like it so far. I can't really see though. That's my own fault. So I'm going to build it up a little bit more. And then we're going to go in on the other side, obviously. And then I'm going to take it on this side and build it up for you guys. So, and then I heard that the shimmers are kind of similar to the Santa's Village Toppery formula in that palette. I didn't pick up that palette. I wasn't really interested in the color story, and I had picked up the Oden's Merry Christmas palette. That was my Christmas palette this past December, so I didn't really see a need for the Nomad one, and I didn't really like the color story that much. But with this one, it really got me. I think they totally outdid themselves with this one, and they are starting off the year really strong, I think. I mean, indie brands had an incredible year last year, but I think this year it's gonna be indie brand. Oh, dang it. I knew I was gonna sneeze. I think this year is going to be indie brands' year, because they are already starting off the year really, really strong. Okay, I have to blow my nose. I'm sorry. My nose is like tickling. Okay, so I just went ahead and blended that out a bit more off camera. And then the next shade I'm going to go into is that shade called Dark, and it's a gorgeous like purpley violet color, and I'm going to use that as my defining shade. I find that the first shade that I used was kind of sheer, so I had to build it up a lot. And then I'm trying to pick up this one, and I do like this one. It's very nice. But I find that these two mattes that I've used so far are a bit sheerer than what I'm used to from Nomad. I know that people were saying that the mattes in here are the typical formula from Nomad, but these mattes kind of remind me of the formula that were in the Feats de Provence palette. Those ones were a bit sheerer, and you had to build them up a little bit more, so I don't know. We will see as the look goes on. I can't really judge a matte when I first use it. I pretty much will see how it looks at the end of a look, or I will just see how it looks at the end of the day in order to determine whether or not I like it. But they are building up really nicely. I just find that these two were a bit more sheer, which I'm surprised about, because everybody was like, oh yeah, the mattes are great, so that's fine. Sometimes just some mattes take a little bit of work. I love the imprint that's in this one. It's like a crescent moon, and I'm like obsessed with that because I love crescent moon things. I love like celestial themed anything. I'm just here for it. I'm very into like zodiac signs and stuff. I'm not really into horoscopes, but I really like zodiacs. I don't think your horoscope really has anything to do with like what happens in your month, but I do believe in that my sign definitely fits my personality. Okay, so that looks pretty, but I am surprised it looks a bit more sheer to me than I thought it was going to, but let's move on. So then for the outer corners, I'm going to take the shade Depth, which is the black shade, like I said, so we can add some depth. So I'm going to take that. And what better shade to add some depth with than a black? Okay, the black goes on really easily, very pigmented, and that definitely added the depth I was looking for. I mean, of course, like the other two could be great by themselves, but I'm really into like the deeper dramatic creases lately. That's just what I'm into. And Angelica Nyquist actually made a video about like 2016 makeup coming back, and she said I think more dramatic makeup is coming back, and I think that's true because I've just been into more dramatic makeup for the past few months anyway, like especially this summer. Like I played with more color than I probably ever have with makeup last summer because I was just so inspired. And I've been kind of embracing more colorful looks, which is funny because I usually am a neutral girl, but colorful looks are still really fun to do. I can't do brown all the time. Sometimes it gets a little boring, so. Okay, so I'm just going to build that up a bit more. And that looks really good. I like how that black looks. Yeah, just take a little bit more. Again, there is a little bit of kick up in the pan, but I just blow it away, so it's not really a big deal. Just need a little bit more on this side. Okay, so then I want to try something, but let's do the lid first. I'm just going to go apply some glitter glue. Okay, so I went ahead and applied my NYX glitter glue, and now I'm going to go into the center shade on the bottom, which is, again, called Tragedy. It looks like a really gorgeous, like, black-based purple shimmer, and I'm super excited to apply it. It looks really pretty on my finger. Ooh, that's really gorgeous. That does look really similar to the color though in the Natasha Denona My Dream palette. The Natasha Denona one is a little bit more shifty, but that is stunning. And this was pretty much the look I was gonna do with the Natasha Denona palette today, because this palette originally was supposed to come tomorrow. At first it said Monday and then it updated to tomorrow. And then it updated to today. So I literally received this palette like an hour ago. And I ordered it on launch day on Tuesday and it came today on Friday. Like, Nomad has ridiculously fast shipping. I mean, yes, it is 3-day USPS shipping, but still, like, that's insane. Because they're coming from Texas, so it's not like it's close, but it is insane how fast they get their package. And they also shipped it out on the same day because I ordered it like at 12 a.m. like Tuesday morning, and they shipped it out like 12 hours later. Like, that's really good shipping. That looks stunning. I'm obsessed with that shade. That's a really gorgeous color. And this shimmer is really smooth, and what Debbie said about the Santa's Village palette was that since these shades are more toppery, that you use your fingers to apply them and then they show up beautifully on your lid. So I always use my fingers, so it doesn't really bother me. I don't know if this shade is going to be light enough for my brow bone. I think that's too dark. Yeah, I was going to try and use Tomb on my brow bone, but it's not as light as one of the colors in the Nomad Hudson Valley palette is, so I'm not going to use that one but I don't know if it's going to sheer out. I'm like very curious. But I don't think I'm going to do it because I think it looks too dark. So I think we're just going to leave it there for now. I'm going to go do my base and then we'll finish up the eyes. Okay, so I went ahead and did my base and I love how my skin looks right now. I used my 4th Ray Beauty Do It spray. Of course, I always use that to hydrate my face, and then I just went in with my favorite primer, which is my e.l.f. Hydro Grip Power Grip Primer, not Hydro Grip. The Hydro Grip is the milk one. I always screw up the name, but this keeps my foundation locked in place if I need to wear it for a little while. And then for my foundation, I use my YSL All Hours foundation. I love this foundation. And then I used my Tarte Power Flex C foundation. You all know this is like my all-time favorite. And then for my setting my face, I used my Urban Decay Stay Naked powder. I actually hit pan on this a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I think like last week. So this is the first product I've hit pan on this year. So that's awesome. I'm not goaling myself to use anything up. I just hit pan on it and it's awesome. And then for my under eyes, I just use my Pat McGrath setting powder, my loose setting powder. So now let's go back into this beautiful palette. And I kind of want to use the shade... Yeah, I kind of want to use the shade Cupid on my inner corner. So that is the only shade from this side of the palette that I'm going to be using, just because I think it's a pretty pink shade that will go nicely with this look. And I kind of want to put a little bit of pink into this look because I do have a little bit of pink on. So let's see how this picks up by itself. I might need to spray it. But let's see how it looks with just a brush. It is a bit flaky. I think I'm going to have to spray it. Let's just use my milk setting spray. Or I might just use my fingers for this, but let's just see how this works out. Of course, the spray is like kind of taking it off, so I think I'm going to use my pinky. And I'm just going to press it. Okay. And then we're just going to take it underneath. It looks very sheer. Let's take a little bit more over here. Okay, that's pretty. Can definitely see it. Just takes a bit of building. And then I'm going to take it a little bit over here. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. You just have to pack it on your brush a little bit more because, again, these are a little bit more of a toppery formula. Yeah, I find that the best method is with my pinky. I also feel like I need to scrape the pan a little bit. But it is a really pretty inner corner highlight with this. It has more of like a duochrome-y, purpley pink effect. It's not as pink as I thought it was going to be. So it actually works perfectly for this look. Because we're going to dip into the pink side tomorrow. So I just wanted to use this one shade. I'm just going to... Yeah, I think that looks pretty. Just takes a little bit of work. And then I'm just going to drag it a little bit here. Okay, and then after I have that on, which again, it looks really stunning. Let me not drop anything. At least the cap is on, so it doesn't really matter. What do I want on the lower lash line? I think I'm going to take that dark shade because I kind of want that drama. And we're going to hold the phone. I have some fallout. I think it's just from that glittery shade. All right, let's take a little bit more of that. I'm just going to apply that on the lower lash line. Oh, I forgot because I sprayed my brush. That's probably why it's not picking up as well. That should actually like help it pick it up even better, but it's fine. That looks really pretty though. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna do for the eye look. I just really wanted to do a purple, like a purple look. Purple. And then for the brow bone off camera, I just took Max Blanc type, which is my go-to brow bone highlight. It's just like a white brow bone highlight for me. Sorry, I try to like not cover my eye with my mirror, but like sometimes I have to get like really up close to actually see what I'm doing. I almost am tempted to add a pop of gold with that Moore shade because it looks so stunning, and I'm thinking about just adding a little bit to the lower lash line. I think I'm going to do that. But at the same time, it looks so pretty just like this. What do you think we should do? What do you think we should do, me, myself, and I? I love when YouTubers do that, and it's like, Well, I can't ask you what you think because you're just watching the video. If it was alive, obviously you guys could tell me whatever, but since it's not alive, I think I'm going to try it. Let's just do a tiny little bit. Ooh. Oh, I like that. That's pretty. I think I'm just going to take a little bit all across. It's not really doing much, but that looks pretty. But I should have done that before I did the purple because I've been really enjoying this type of eye look where I just take a little bit of sparkle and connect it with the matte. Still think it looks pretty though. I'm so excited to use this gold shade. You guys know how much of a sucker I am for golds. But that purple, like this whole purple vibe was calling my name today, just based on solely on what I was wearing too. So, yep. Okay, that looks pretty. I think I'm going to take it a little bit more on this side. And that's pretty much going to be it. But I think that looks really pretty. I don't think it ruined it. I think it looks cool. All right, we're going to throw on the rest of my face and then we'll come back and then show you guys the final look. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look. And I have to say, I absolutely love how this turned out. I was a little bit doubtful at the beginning because of the mattes, but they turned out gorgeous. And the lid shade, I am absolutely obsessed. So here are the eyes. Look at how stunning that is. Are you joking? The cheeks and the lips. So for the rest of my eyes, I went in with my LA Girl black liner. I really have been enjoying these LA Girl liners. These are the perfect precision English eyeliner in the shade black, and I really like these. Are super creamy, very comfortable on the waterline. And then I went in with my Essence lash primer, and then I used the sample that I have of the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk push-up lashes. Wow, a bunch of liner got on my hands. That's not ideal. This is a good mascara. I'm not like obsessed with it, but I just used it because it was in front of me today. And then I just used my Maybelline Lash Discovery mascara as usual on my bottom lashes. And then for bronzer, I used my Gucci bronzer in the shade 01, my favorite bronzer ever. And then for my blush, I went in with the ColourPop Or Kid You Not blush in the shade Just My Pluck. This is a gorgeous cool tone purpley pink blush. And I think it went perfectly with this look. It showed up a bit warmer than it usually does. It's probably just because I'm not doing great at washing my brushes lately, but it still goes really beautifully. And then for my highlighter, I used the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Noctilucent palette. Has become one of my favorite highlighting palettes ever, and I used the shade Philomena. It has like a pinky purpley shift to it, so I thought it would be perfect for this. Then I just set my face with my Milk Makeup setting spray, and then I just did my brows with my e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my lips, I used the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Oh Snap. It's always like my go-to pinky mauve pencil. And then for my lips, I went in with the Pat McGrath Labs Liquid Lust Legendary Wear Matte Lipstick in the shade Divine Rose. I'm not sure if she has this one available anymore, but it's a really pretty like cool tone pinky purpley matte, so I thought it'd be perfect for this. So yeah, so far I'm absolutely blown away by this palette. I think it's gorgeous. I'm really excited to dip into this side tomorrow, and this side really was stunning today. I'm just going to hold it like this because actually I can fold both of these back so I can talk about it. Oh my, actually this side doesn't fold back as easily as the other side. That's interesting. I'm just going to hold it like this then. It's absolutely stunning. I cannot wait to do more looks with this, and I cannot wait to jump into the pink side. So I will see you guys tomorrow with the second look. Bye for now. Okay, so hey guys, so now we are going to be jumping into look number 2 with the Nomad Verona Amore palette. And today we are going to be using the pink side of the palette, and I'm very excited to jump into this side. Hopefully, I was having a little bit of trouble to bend this back yesterday, but it does bend all the way back today. I just had to kind of bend the packaging a little bit more. Also, if you hear my dogs barking, I am sorry about that. They are delivering a new washer and dryer today, and there's like this huge truck in the driveway. So if you guys hear my dogs barking, that is why. So we're going to start out with the shade Paradise in the crease. Then I'm going to darken it up more with Balcony, and then the outer corner shade is going to be Rose, just so I don't have to keep on picking up the palette and setting it down. So first we're going to go into the shade Paradise, and then this looks like a really pretty pink shade. It is kind of sheer though, but let's see how it builds up. So I didn't really go into like Romeo and Juliet yesterday and the whole history about the play, but I just wanted to say that I actually have been to Verona before, and it was really cool because I actually did get to see Juliet's balcony when we went to Verona. We only went there for like a day. We also went to the Colosseum in Verona. We didn't go to the famous Athens Colosseum, but we did go to because when I did go to Italy, we didn't go to Greece on this tour. We went to Venice, Verona, Venice, Verona, Florence, and Pisa. So, sorry, I really don't know why they never stop barking. Like, they need to chill out. So, this shade, I will say, does take quite a bit of building up, but I think it's going to be really pretty in the end. I mean, that kind of the same thing happened yesterday with the purple shades, and then once I got them built up, they looked really pretty at the end. So I think that's going to be kind of the same scenario with these, especially with this shade. Let me just make sure this is all the way up. Yeah, I think it is. So I did end up really liking the result of the makeup look yesterday. I don't think I said that yesterday, but I really like how it turned out. So I think it's going to be the same today. So yeah, have you guys been to Italy? It's honestly the place that I am dying to go back to because, like I said, I really want to go to Greece and Rome at some point. I think that would be amazing. And I definitely have more traveling wishes and adventures that I would like to go on in the future. Hopefully when I get a good job. I'm just so excited to be actually going away somewhere this year. I'm very excited. Again, I haven't been on vacation in a long time. And I also love that that's like kind of, that's like Nomad's whole aesthetic is traveling to different locations and making different palettes based on where they travel to. I hope they do like a Ireland or New Zealand type of themed palette at some point. That would be really cool. But I love that they just go to like amazing different places. So, and that's what they inspire their palettes to be after. I think it's just so cool. I mean, that's their inspiration for their palettes. But I would also like to see like some different things in their collections in the future. That would be cool too, because even though I love the eyeshadow palettes, it would be cool if they actually expanded on adding a few more products to their launches. But we'll see if there's like a demand for that at some point. But mainly they're just mostly an eyeshadow palette brand. So now I'm going to go into that shade Balcony, and I'm going to deepen up this look. This one's a very hot pink shade, so I'm just going to take that all in the defining area. I am noticing quite a bit of kickback with these pinker shades on this side of the palette. Not really anything too crazy. It's not like it messes up the entire pan or gets all over the palette. It mostly stays inside the palette, so So I did give my boss a heads up just in case if I'm a little late, because like I said, the washer and dryer delivery guys got here like 20 minutes ago when they had like a 4-hour window, and it was supposed to be like from 11 in the morning till like basically now, and they didn't show up until like 1:55. So of course it has to be like an hour before I'm supposed to be at work, but like I said, they should be done by the time I leave, hopefully. Okay, and then after I deepened it up with that shade, I'm going to go in with that shade Rose. I am finding, again, that these mattes are quite sheer. So hopefully Rose will give me that. It's not really giving me too much depth and dimension. It's kind of looking the same as the other two shades. And I did notice that people said that that was a bit of an issue, that the shades don't really look too much different on your eyes. I mean, actually this is building up pretty nicely, but it does look very similar to the two shades I just put on, and it kind of just looks like I put on 3 shades of hot pink, but it still looks very pretty. You can't say that they're not pigmented, so. Okay, they're out of the hallway, but for some reason they haven't left yet. Like, the delivery guys haven't left yet, so I don't really understand what the heck is going on. So I'm just building this up a bit more. I don't know why I'm dying, but I'm going to apply some glitter glue and then we'll go in with the lid shade. Okay, so I just applied my glitter glue and now I'm going to go into the shade Romeo. Originally, I did want to go into Cupid, but since I used Cupid on the, why the heck is there like a pink reflection? That was weird. I wanted to go into Cupid originally, but this shade looked really pretty when I swatched it, and also since I used Cupid on the inner corners yesterday, I am thinking about using that shade again on the inner corners today, so I wanted to go in with a different shade on the lid. Yeah, I think they're almost done. So I do notice that this shade is a bit more toppery, but at the same time, if you just use your fingers, it really does give a beautiful effect, and it's a really pretty shimmer. And I'm kind of feeling this monochromatic pink look. I think it looks really pretty, but dang, it is very hot pink. I don't know if I might add a bit of that Quill shade just to add some depth. But I can tell that the red look is going to be really pretty, and it definitely has a little bit more differentiation with those shades as compared to like the pink shades on this palette. I mean, the pink side was what really sold me on this palette, because TBH, not many brands have come out with really pink palettes that have really inspired me to get them, because most pink palettes are like one pop of mauve and the rest of the palette is like neutrals, which I'm like not feeling. Like, I want a pink palette. But I guess I kind of get why brands haven't done it that often, because it's hard to get them to look different on the eyes, but I still think this looks really pretty. So I'm going to clean up the shadow a bit, do my base, and then we'll come back and finish up the eyes. Okay, so I went ahead and did my base, and I just used the same primer that I used yesterday, which was the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and I just used my Do It setting spray as per usual before I went in with my primer. And then for my base, I used the, oh my god, eyeshadow everywhere. I used the Very Valentino foundation in the shade Light R2. I still love this foundation. I haven't been able to wear it in like a week because I haven't really worked that much, so I wanted to wear it today. And then for my concealer, I just went in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. I still love this concealer in the shade 110 Nude Ivory. And then I just set my face with my Pat McGrath Labs loose powder, and then I set my entire face with the Dior Backstage powder, and I'm making pretty good progress on using this. So now let's go back to the palette, and we're going to finish up the eyes. So like I said, I'm going to go back into this side of the palette, and I actually, off camera, I kind of added a little bit of that shade Quill, which is down here, because I kind of needed a little bit more depth in my outer corners. And after I did that, I kind of mixed it together to be like kind of a reddish pink. And I think it works with what I'm wearing, because you guys know I love to match what I'm wearing. And I think it looks better that way, but I am liking how the eyes look more now since the look is more complete. So like I said, I am going to go into that shade Cupid, the same shade that I used yesterday. Yeah, the guys are already leaving, so that is a lot of eye goo, Caitlin. So I think they're already done. Yeah, they're gone. Thank God. And I'm just going to use that shade in the inner corners. If only that could get the heck out of my eye. So I actually went to see Puss in Boots last night with one of my friends, and it was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. It's actually one of the highest rated movies on Rotten Tomatoes right now. It has a 95% from like the critics, not just the audience. And I'm just like, wow. And it was actually really, really good. So I was like, it deserves all the hype it's getting, because it's actually a great friggin' movie. And it was actually a lot more adult than I thought it was going to be. I mean, Shrek has always been like a more adult kind of series. It has like very hinted sexual jokes in there sometimes that kind of, you know, but it's still like age appropriate, that it's not like weird. But it's also like the way that they do the jokes is that only the adults would get it and the kids like wouldn't really understand it. But in this movie, they were like dropping curses left and right, and they would like bleep it out. And I was like, wow. I was like, this is really... I was really surprised on how adult it actually was. But again, Shrek has always had like that reputation as being more adult. So, okay. So since that rose shade wasn't really giving me the depth on the outer corners, I'm going to take it on the lower lash line, so I still use that shade in this look. So I still think it's a really pretty shade. It just, people are right about that these pinks are not really that different when you put them on your eyes, which is a little bit of a shame for me, because like I said, I was looking really forward to this side of the palette. It's really what sold me on this palette, was having a good pink palette in my collection. I think if this rose shade was a bit deeper, I think it would have been absolutely perfect. Okay. More eye goo. Woo woo. But since there's not quite enough, I mean, it does look different in the pan, but again, once you apply it to the eyes, it's not that much different, so. But it's still a really pretty shade. I'm not mad at any of the shades in here. I think they're all beautiful and they're all performing very nicely. I would say that these mattes are a little bit sheerer to me than the ones in the Hudson Valley palette and the Whistler Snow Lodge palette. I love the matte formula in both of those palettes. In the Feet de Provence palette, those mattes, like I said, are a bit sheerer like these are. But I do think that this palette has a little bit more depth and dimension than the Feet de Provence palette. And I do think that these mattes go deeper and can be built up better. I mean, I still love the Feet de Provence palette. I love all the Nomad palettes I have. That's why I have 4 of them now. But just keep that in mind. Okay, so once we have that on, that's pretty much it for the eye look. I don't think I'm going to add any more sparkle. I mean, I could add Romeo to that. So let's just do a little bit of Romeo right here. I know I've been doing that a lot, but I just love how it looks. I think it adds such a pretty interest and sparkle to the lower lash line. Again, I don't know why I didn't do that before I added the matte, but it still looks really pretty dragged down here. Just right there. Yeah, that's pretty. I did have a bit of problems with the lower lash line shade transferring yesterday. It kind of like ended up on the corners of my eyes, so but I was laughing a lot more yesterday, like to the point where I almost spit out my water at Chili's. But yeah, it might have been because of that, because I haven't really had that problem with like other shades that I've been wearing lately. Yeah, that looks really pretty. So just keep that in mind. Okay, I really like how that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of the eye look, and then I'll tell you guys what I put on my face. I mean, finish up my face and my eyes, and then we'll come back and show you the final look. Okay, you guys, so this is the finished look, and honestly, I really am in love with the finished result. I think that this eye look turned out gorgeous, and like I said, you pretty much have to just trust the process with Nomad, because once it's actually finished, the end result is stunning. So I'm obsessed. So for my liner today, I used the same liner that I used yesterday, because I don't know if I told you guys that I kind of decluttered a lot of my ColourPop liners, and those were most of like my colorful liners in my collection. So I just used the same black liner, which is the LA Girl Perfect Precision. I did the same mistake again. I said precision first yesterday too. Eyeliner in the shade black. And then for the, I just used the Essence Lash Primer again for my primer. And then I went in with my sample of the NARS Climax Mascara. And hot damn, it really looks great in person. I know that there's a bunch of controversy going around with Michaela right now on TikTok, but honestly, some mascaras do give you a false lash effect. Like this almost looks as good as what she was trying to pull off with the L'Oreal mascara on TikTok. Like everybody coming after her right now. But honestly, this is giving me really intense length and separation and volume, and it looks amazing. So NARS giving L'Oreal a run for their money. And it's only like a few dollars more, since that's like a $15 mascara. But anyway, and then of course I used my Maybelline Lash Discovery on the bottom lashes. And then for the rest of my face, I just went in with the same bronzer, which is my Gucci bronzer in 01. And then for my blush, I went in with another ColourPop blush. This is one of the Sailor Moon blushes in the shade Over the Moon. This is just such a pretty pink color. I'm trying to work through some of my ColourPop blushes that I haven't used in a while, so that's why I wanted to use them today and yesterday. And then for my highlighter, I went in with my JD Glow highlighter in the shade Cold as Ice, and this looks stunning with this look. It's a really gorgeous like lavender pink shade, and I really love it. And then I just set my face with my Milk Makeup setting spray and set my brows with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And then for my liner for my lips, I went in with Good and Plenty from ColourPop. And then for my lippy, I went in with the Bite Beauty, what is this called? Power Matte Creamy Matte Lip Crayon in the shade Sugarcane. I wanted a little bit more of like a subdued lippy today, since the eyes are so pink. I wanted the pink on the lips to be a little bit more toned down and not like a super pink lip. So yeah, I really have been enjoying this palette so far. I'm excited to do even more looks with it. I really enjoyed using this side of the palette. Again, the end result was gorgeous. I think the mattes are very pigmented. And the lid shades, honestly, the purple shade yesterday held up amazingly, and it still looked really stunning on the lid. So sometimes having a drier shimmer formula kind of works in your favor, especially if you want to wear your eye look for a long period of time. Drier shimmers tend to last longer than like super wet sparkly shimmers like the Adept formula. Nomad shimmers have like an incredible lasting power. So, and this shade Romeo is stunning. So yeah, I'm obsessed with this palette. I cannot wait to use it more. I'm really happy that I was able to do 2 looks for you guys. So let me know what your thoughts were on this palette. Do you like it? Do you think that they could change anything about it? Did you guys pick it up? Let me know. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at cbw819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. Nomad got me again and got me to get another palette this year. So now, like I said, I have 4 Nomad palettes in my collection. And I don't know if this is going to be the last one because they started off this year really, really strong. The packaging is killer. The color stories are amazing. I think that they're going to kill it even more this year. They already killed it the past 2 years. I think that we are just seeing what their potential is. And I think that they're really going to have an amazing year this year. I really think that this is indie brand's year. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Bye.